What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Rookie CEO podcast. I'm Grace Watkins. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Click Management, and Rookie CEO is my week-to-week real-time podcast documenting the highs and lows and the challenges that come with running a business all for the first time. As this is a real-time podcast, I want to tell you that the most exciting thing has happened in the last few weeks, and it is literally directly to do with this podcast, Rookie CEO, and one of my longest of long-term career goals that I literally wrote down in like my goals book 4 years ago. And it's not 100% come true, but it's like 99% of the way come true. And even though I can't give you all of the details right now, which I hate, and I hate it when people are like, oh, I'm working on so many exciting things and I can't talk to you about it. It is unbelievable that it's happened. Like the fact that I was able to make one of my long-term career goals, dreams come true, and it somehow have to do with Rookie, like this podcast that we started a month ago, is completely mind-blowing. Like it's actually... like when I'm able to tell you guys about this, it's completely surreal. Like it's totally not real. Like when I first found out about it, I was like, this isn't a real situation. This can't possibly be true. But I think, like, touch wood, and I hope I'm not like jinxing it telling you guys, but I feel as though because it's happened because of you guys and because of this podcast, I like have to tell you, like you guys are the ones I have to mention it to. So even though I can't talk about it in detail right now, it really made me think about it. It's like been cause for a lot of reflection over the last few weeks about how amazing and rewarding life can be when you just take the first step on something. And for example, this podcast, Rookie, I took the Instagram and Twitter handle for Rookie CEO more than a year ago now, and I didn't act on it until a month ago when we started this podcast. And I think I took it and I was like, I feel like there's going to be something here one day, but it was never quite the time and it didn't feel right. And then a month ago, I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to do it. Who knows? I think there's something in this. I don't know. It could be nothing, but I'm just going to give it a go. And the fact that, you know, it's not necessarily realistic that you're going to be able to make dreams come true within a month of starting a new project. And obviously, the dream that actually came true was one that I wrote down 4 years ago. It just made me realize and reflect on the fact that, like, it's just always worth starting it. Like, it's always worth doing the thing. Like, if you're ever thinking about like, oh, maybe I could do this, or maybe I could try this. I don't know. I just think the number one thing that differentiates people that are doing something that you think in your mind is really cool and you right now is the fact that they probably just started taking those first steps to get there. So I can't talk about the situation in detail right now, but I do want to tell you about another story that happened to me probably 4 years ago now that was really impactful on me at the time, but I think illustrates this lesson pretty well. It was right around the time when we'd started Click, and Click was starting to get a little bit of traction, and I was so excited about it. It satisfied me and like gave me so much like energy in a way that I hadn't felt before. And all I wanted to do was work on Click all the time. Didn't matter, day, night, weekend, weekday, whatever. Anyway, this guy came up to stay with us for the weekend, and he and my ex-boyfriend were going out and I was invited. We had a lot going on with Click at that time, and so I decided not to go out with them. I was like, I'm going to stay home. It was a Saturday night. I was like, I really want to get this stuff done and work on it. And this guy, who I won't name, basically kind of teased me, but it wasn't teasing in like a friendly way. It was sensitive and it like hit hard. And he was basically telling me how weird it was that what I was doing, and like as if I wouldn't come out on the weekend and as if it couldn't wait until tomorrow, and just made me feel as though what I was doing was really bizarre and really weird and not normal and not cool. And it made me at the time so uncomfortable. Now, you know, it's been 4 years and Click's done really well, and I'm really confident in what I'm doing, and I'm confident in the value of what I do. If someone told me what I was doing was weird or not cool, I honestly wouldn't care at all. I'd be like, okay, well, I'm the one that, is able to support myself and support 15 people that work on my team. And we're making stuff that makes people happy. And that is cool to me. I don't care what you think. It's easy to have that attitude when you've got a little bit of momentum and things have been going well. But at the start, it's really hard to have that. And at the start, when he said those things to me, Click wasn't anything. It was nothing. It hadn't made any money. It wasn't allowing me to quit my job. It was something that I was dedicating a whole heap of time to, that I was putting myself out there for, and it wasn't giving me any tangible return at that time. And that is a time where I think it's so vulnerable and it's so easy to feel sensitive about the fact that people are looking at what you're doing and thinking it's not normal or it's a bit left of center, or, why aren't you just sticking on the path of what everyone else is doing? I recognize that I think part of that attitude in that guy probably stemmed from the fact that maybe he wasn't that happy with what he was doing in his life. And it was an insecurity that he was projecting onto people around him, including me at the time, because I had something that I was really excited about in a genuine way, in a pure way. I was excited about it. I reflect on that period of time where I felt really nervous and I felt self-conscious, and I was like, fuck, maybe it's not worth it to be doing this if people around me are looking at me and like judging me, and what are they saying behind my back if they're saying that to my face? They must think it's like very weird and bizarre and like not cool, and I don't know, like I was just self-conscious about that. But now I'm like, oh my God, imagine if I'd stopped. Imagine if I'd stopped when that guy said that thing. Like, Click has changed my life. It's changed so many people's lives. It's been the best thing that's ever happened to me. It's given me more satisfaction. It's allowed me to do things I could never have dreamed. And I'm so happy about that. And I think it just makes me realize, I had a similar feeling, honestly, when we were starting Rookie. I was like, this is, doing this right now with me here is so vulnerable for me. Like, it makes me very nervous. Like, still in person, if people like mention Rookie CEO to me or message me about it and say I liked that episode, I'm the one that gets so self-conscious. I'm like, oh yeah, I don't know, whatever, because I feel vulnerable. Like, I feel kind of weird that I'm like talking about my own experiences to a camera and putting it out there and letting hundreds of people listen to it. Like, that feels uncomfortable for me. But again, it's like this thing that happened in the last few weeks that's materializing, that was literally one of my all-time biggest career goals, is happening because I took the first step and I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to do this Rookie CEO thing and see what happens. And within a month, guys, I can't even, like, it doesn't even feel real, the thing that's happening. And so I think the takeaway for me is, like, just do it. Just do it. Like, if you're ever thinking about something, if you're ever thinking about putting yourself out there, if you're thinking about, I don't know, doing a TikTok or starting a business or trying something new or introducing yourself to someone, like, you never know what could come from it. And maybe it'll be nothing, or maybe it will take 4 years to materialize, or 10 years, or 15 years. But I just guarantee you that, like, there is nothing bad that will come from it. There's nothing bad. And I don't know, I feel like this is a super cliche episode, but it was hard for me not to talk about this week because it's truly what I've been thinking about. And, like, fuck the people that say it's weird. Fuck them. Who cares? Who cares? Like, anyone that is making you feel insecure or uncomfortable or weird for doing something that you're excited about or passionate about, like, honestly, you just don't need that in your life. Like, you don't need people like that. The good people around you, the people that care about you, the people that you want, are the ones that are going to be encouraging you to do new things and try new things and put yourself out there. And I just think they're the ones whose opinion you need to care about, and they're the ones that are going to be next to you, encouraging you and saying that's really cool for putting yourself out there, even if maybe they don't totally get the idea, which a lot of people didn't get the idea of Click at the start. I think a lot of the time when I look at my idols or the people that I think are doing really cool things, I realize that, like, the only difference between me and them is that they're a few more steps down the road and they've put themselves out there. And at some point it requires putting yourself out there. If you want to be a YouTuber, if you look at Mr. Beast, if you look at Laserbeam or Muselk or whoever, and think about like, oh, it'd be fun to be them. At one point, they had 0 subscribers. At one point, they had 0 viewers, and they had to upload for the first time to an audience of 0. And it's literally just those first steps, and it's taking one step after the other and giving yourself a little bit of momentum, which makes it easier and easier to keep going, that is differentiating you from anyone else. Like anyone that's launched a cool business at one point had to like file an ABN or file to get the business number or put out an ad that had no following to it. And I think that's literally just it. Like all you need to do is take a step. I firmly maintain that I think most people that are doing amazing things are not smarter than you. They're just not. Like you're smart enough. You are. I'm not that smart. Like I think I'm very driven and very determined and will do whatever it takes to make something happen. But I don't think I'm intellectually smarter than anyone else. I just think I want it more. And I think having that as something you can come back to that's fully within your control. You know, intelligence, maybe it's not 100% within your control, but you can control how hard you try. Always. You can always control your attitude and how hard you try. And that is going to be the number one component to your success. So I'm going to leave it there because I don't want to rant, and I feel as though this is already a little bit like preachy and overly excited or whatever. But honestly, it is really fucking exciting, and I wish I could tell you guys about it. And one day you will see, and I will reference back to this podcast and be like, this was it. This is what I was talking about. But that's it for this week's episode. So please have the confidence, do the thing, just be the person that did it. You will never regret it. You will thank yourself. Good things are only going to come. So I will see you guys next week. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.